All right, that's us just finished now. We've just done a race called Hare and Hounds, where you get one group to go off a few hundred meters in front of the other. The second group has to try and catch them before the end of the race. The first person across the line is the winner. If you've done any handicap racing, you'll be familiar with the format. I agreed to go in the fast chasing group on the condition that I could be the third rider, and I would do a one-lap turn as hard as I could, and then I would pull off and be finished. So we're just going to, still breathing a little bit, as you can see. The fast group did catch the slow group, so I'm going to claim part responsibility for that. And we're just going to have a little look and see what that looked like in terms of effort for me.
Okay, this one nice and simple. We've only got about a minute or so worth of actual data here. Okay, turn the computer on. Then here was where the race started, about 48 seconds. You can see as we're getting up to speed, we're coming off the fence, I hit my peak power of 845 watts, just as we're starting to settle into the race. Then once the riders in front of me have got up to speed, you can see that my power actually drops significantly. This little bump here, I don't know if that's me closing a gap or if that's in the banking or what that is, doesn't really matter. Anyway, once we settle in, you can see I'm only actually doing about 200 watts. And this is despite the fact that if we go down to my speed, you can see we're doing, at that point, 46 or 47 kilometers an hour, which is about 27, 28 miles an hour. So we're fairly cracking along, but I'm doing actually quite not very much power at all. 200 watts, 190 watts, that's not a lot in a track context. Now, here's the interesting bit. At about 90 seconds, so about 45, 50 seconds into the race, the guy in front of me pulls out of the way. All right, I don't kick on immediately. I just push a little bit of power, push up to about 470 watts, just to let him get back on the back. Drop a little bit down just to make sure he's there, and then once I know that the whole group is together, I boot it. Okay, so we can see here just at the point where I'm going to kick on, we're doing 46.6 kilometers an hour, and I'm doing about 380 watts. I kick on, go up to a maximum of 774, 775, come down, and then I'm riding at about 650 watts. So the whole thing, the whole effort, if we go from here, 1 minute 34, to here, 2 minutes 01, so it's about 30 seconds, and I'm riding at something like an average of about 680 watts. Now, if we go down to speed, we can see the speed climbs from 46 all the way up to 54 kilometers an hour over that time. So I've actually pushed the speed from about 27 miles an hour up to about 33, 34 miles an hour. Riding at 34 miles an hour at about 600 watts, that's actually that's not that bad. That's me being relatively aero on a drop bar handle bike. So what we can see also is the heart rate. My heart rate from before we start is 166. I'm still a bit tired from the session. Immediately, within the first few seconds, springs up to 200. And then as I actually do my turn, you can see it rising and rising and rising and rising to this peak just here at 206. There'll be some of you thinking, oh my God, he's got something wrong with him. He's got, your heart rate shouldn't beat that fast. Well, kind of technically maybe it shouldn't, but mine always has. Don't worry, I've been checked out. There is absolutely nothing wrong with my heart. It just beats quite a lot faster than usual. It's always been like that ever since I took up cycling. I had some sports science friends of mine tell me once they think I've got quite a small heart that has to beat quite fast to compensate. So something like that is going on, but there's no need to worry after my health. Okay, so this went quite well. This was quite a good little way to finish it off, and actually that's a good example of what an interval should look like. So this last little bit here, there's a surge up, a little bit of a drop, and then a maintain. Just maintaining my power, maintaining my speed for the duration of the interval. So if you watched my previous video where I talked about half-lap gains, you'll know that I wasn't very happy with the intervals I did in that one. The interval I've done here at the end is much more the sort of thing that I would want to see. Okay, well, that concludes this little series where I've just taken all of the stuff that I did in an evening and we've just pulled it apart, we've looked at it and we've seen where it might be applicable what we can find out from it, and the ways in which it can inform our training. And like I say, this is all from about an hour and 20 minutes worth of track time. I think we've been able to get some really sort of valuable insights from this, been able to understand a lot more about my physiology and the way that I need to train for certain types of racing and for certain types of events, and just if I want to get fitter in general. I've got some really good benchmarks. I'm able to do this power for this distance for this amount of time, and if I want to improve, then that's what I need to be tracking and looking at. So it's down in the description, but I'll say it here as well. These videos are only possible because Volotech UK, or the UK distributors of Rotor, have sent me some equipment in order to make this possible, so that I can sort of show all of you how this stuff works and we can talk about it. So if you do have any interest in any Rotor products or anything like that, send me a message, drop me a comment, we can have a chat about that, and there are some discounts on offer as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Until next time.